What's going to happen in 2023 in the domain industry? What are my predictions? Hey, Chris Zuiker with Media Options, help companies acquire the raw version of the brand, brokers of the best domains on the planet. Check that out over at chriszuiker.com. Mediaoptions.com. Check out chriszuiker.com as well. I do a daily podcast, back in the groove of daily podcasts, so check that out. Check out dnx.com. Check out all of our good information. Check out Domain Sherpa as well. Anyways, predictions for 2023, right? As we went in, I saw quite a few posts on predictions and what's going to happen and back and forth on domain extensions. But listen, this is the only prediction that you need to know, okay? Is that, not the only prediction, but, one of the main predictions is that is this question, okay? First of all, come back to this question, okay? When you look at these predictions, who buys domain names and why do they buy domain names, right? So you look at the industry, there is the investor who's buying them to invest in it, thinking they're going to then turn those and make a profit on those because the brand's going to come and buy it, right? There is the end user who's buying it, okay, for the 4 domain strategies, which is brand, sub-brand, marketing, and defensive in nature. And then you have, let's say, the personal owner who's buying something, and in a sense, they're kind of like an end user, but they don't actually do something with it, okay? So it's if you think about, all the there's a lot of great one-word domain names that are owned by someone who, there's literally like nothing on it, but they use it for their email. They go into a party, like, yeah, man, we own Quip.com, and it's like, well, you own that domain name, that's amazing, that's cool, right? And they got all this social recognition and social proof behind it, and so there's this hero effect, okay, for owning a great domain name, okay? So that's the personal owner, and that can be for any different type. One of the things we hear quite a bit of is, hey, Chris, I had this project, all 100 domain names that I bought are bought for some project and idea that I had. And it's like, yeah, I get it. How many of you actually done with? None. Okay, so if an order comes in, sell it, because the reality is you ain't doing nothing with that domain name. Anyways, so what is the prediction for 2023? It's that it's like the main sales are going to continue to be for companies, for the end user looking for a brand, okay? It's pretty much always been the case. It's brand, it's sub-brand, it's marketing, and it's defensive in nature, okay? Now, you could argue, well, hey, Chris, let's take, I forget the domain I did on Twitter, but there was one domain I was used as a marketing domain for, I think it was Quicken Loans, or one of the loan companies like that. Listen, that's a sub-brand almost, okay? They've built off these sub-brands as far as how they capture lead generation. But the main, in the reality is they have quite a few options. Once you start getting into sub-brands and marketing, you can spin it off a little bit more, and the reason is that it's like brand equity. Okay, it's you're only putting brand equity. Maybe it's a short-lived time frame. It's going to be direct response marketing. It's going to be supporting, paid marketing, let's say, for a certain quarter, and so you're okay. You realize, hey, it's not going to live forever. Although the laws, the 7 dimensions still apply. Okay, and that's global positioning, industry positioning, branding, marketing, SEO. So that those still apply. You still need to capture that, but the main prediction is the same one it was last year, and that is that companies buy for 4 reasons, right? Brand, sub-brand, marketing, and defensive in nature. Now, macro trends in the economy, potentially we could have, actually we are going through a recession, right? In one sense, right? People have said that. And so, are there going to be, is there as much exuberance out there for people wanting to start a brand, start a company, start a side project? Probably not, okay? But at the same point, there's a lot of money out there. And so you're going to see a lot of money pouring in to maybe fewer companies. Okay, fewer is relative, okay? Is it thousands? There's tons of companies that start up. They need to put their money somewhere. They need to bet on something, okay? Their share positioning changing all the time. There's new ideas changing all the time. There's industry being upended with this AI today, okay? So there's going to be a ton of things happening in the industry, and there's going to be more money pouring in, but they're going to buy for the same reason. That's brand, okay? I'm giving you frames here to think about, okay? Brand, sub-brand, marketing, defensive in nature. Think of the 5 buyer types, okay? Go back, look at the 5 buyer types. Those are just, these trends, they all come back to the basics, right? Is there a meta trend? Potentially, Meta took off. Did we see it? We knew the kind of metaverse was out there. It took off big time, right? Crypto, that was a trend. Okay, you have these little trends that are in there that impact everything. But the main driver, even in those trends, if you look at crypto, the main driver was what? They were buying their brand. Okay, they're buying their brand. So where's the money going to come? I think we're going to continue to see great brandable domains dominate the industry in 2023. Anyways, super long. Share it up. Share